So everyone has arrived in camp. We have some quotes for you. We'll tell you what everyone is talking about. And it turns out we've been saying a top prospect's name wrong the entire time. So we'll tell you the correct pronunciation on that and more on a live edition of Locked On Yankees.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And it's now the #1 sports podcast in the country. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias alongside my co-host Brian McKeon. We'd like to thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Brian, how are we doing on this President's Day?
We're doing wonderful, I guess. Hearing news out of spring training, some things that I feel really confident about and some stories that are coming out that are kind of making me excited for baseball.
Yep, we're going to go through all of them. As you all know, we end with news from around the league. There's some interesting things happening around the league. We're going to talk about those in segment 3. Ryan Weathers had some very intriguing things to say about being a Yankee and what he's looking forward to about being a Yankee. And it's something I always talk about. So I'm happy to go through that in segment 2. But first, Aaron Boone had some comments. Max Fried had some comments, and Gerrit Cole invented a new windup, or is using a new windup. So we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, pretty cool. We have to address this, the elephant in the room for all of the Yankees fan base. It's not just us that have been doing this. It's literally everybody, including Yankees staff members.
Except for Bob Lorenz. He's the only one who said it right.
Yes. The top, not the top ranked Yankee prospect, but the top prospect that everyone's becoming aware of and should be aware of by opening day and will be aware of probably by June at this point. Carlos Legrange. And
not Lagrange. Not Lagrange.
Full disclosure, I'm going to say it. I'm going to give my opinion on it. Lagrange sounds cooler. I think Lagrange sounds way cooler and way more dominant, but Lagrange is his family name. It's his pronunciation of his name. We are going with that. And we are going to talk about it. Definitely tune into tomorrow's episode because we're going to do a deep dive on Carlos Legrange, the pitcher, because he is becoming more and more of a talking point even through 2 days of spring training.
Yeah.
A couple days of pitchers and catchers. His bullpens have been outstanding. People are talking a lot about him. His size is a huge element that now everyone's kind of becoming aware of. He's 6'7", 248. That's what he measured coming into camp this year, which is insane. His arm angle is apparently tremendous. He tops out at 103 miles per hour. He only got to AA last year. But Stacey, it feels like he's on a very speedy path to the major leagues.
I wanted to bring this up, and I should have taken a screenshot of the image. But he threw a pitch. He was throwing batting practice, or not batting practice. He was throwing pitches to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge did get a home run off him off a 99-mile-an-hour pitch, but there was a 102.3-mile-an-hour pitch that he got on the inside lower corner of the plate. It was the perfect pitch to a right-handed batter who could never hit the pitch, which is impressive for someone at his level.
And what's more impressive about that too is what's been hindering him is his location.
Yeah,
they've basically all reported that stuff is there at the major league level. Velocity is obviously there at the major league level. The movement it's just a placement.
Yeah,
it's just where he's putting the ball in location. So
if he places it there at that speed,
well, that's what they're saying so far with his bullpens is the location's been there so far. Yeah. And if he gets that down, Stacey, his strikeout rate was otherworldly last year in the minor leagues. And again, we know it's single A and double A. It's
right.
not, yeah. But his numbers were outrageous, and that's exactly what the Yankees look for. And this might lean to suggesting why they weren't after top tier bullpen relievers. And we talked about it all offseason. This was a very deep offseason for the reliever. The reliever market there were a lot of guys that got top end dollars, but even guys that weren't top end relievers were getting signed all over. And the Yankees were kind of staying pat when it came to relievers. Now they did acquire guys at last deadlines. They did actually acquire guys, but I do think he might be part of their plans. And even if it's not for opening day, it might be for May or June. He's going to see major league time this year. And again, tune into Tuesday's episode. We're going to do a deep dive on him and the kind of player that he is and what he really offers. But so far, so good on what you're hearing out of Carlos Legrange. He's the big story coming out of camp.
Yes, I do appreciate the fact that the Yankees put up the video. They collaborated with Lagrange, and it was a very funny video. If you guys didn't see it, you can find it on the Yankees feed and on Lagrange's feed. And it's basically Steinbrenner Field, empty, and then he walks into the frame, says how you say his name, and then just walks out. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, about time to set the record straight. And it does feel like that's kind of like his quote unquote arrival to the Yankee fan base, is letting everyone know.
It's like, you need to know my name because I'm going to be here soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So expect him to be in the Bronx throwing the ball very, very hard. Because again, 103 miles an hour, pretty impressive for especially for his age too.
Yeah.
Other news coming out of Aaron Boone's press conference. Now, we are doing this live on Monday. We are aware that Aaron Boone spoke and Aaron Judge spoke at camp. Tune into Tuesday's episode for our reaction on that kind of stuff. We will talk about that. Just one brief note on Aaron Boone, and we'll discuss what he said in the big notes that came out of his Sunday press conference.
Yeah.
I just want to throw it out there, Stacey. It's okay to admit, right, that some of your players are coming in from camp and there's things they need to work on, or certain guys aren't necessarily 100% there yet, or we'd like to see him improve on X, Y, and Z. That's okay, right? We don't have to just say everyone's the best and the greatest pitcher ever.
That's
I'm just
true.
making sure. Yeah, because Aaron Boone entered his Sunday press conference. The Yankees are, if you just listen to his press conference, like imagine that you're just getting into baseball this year, and you're the first press conference you listen to is Aaron Boone's Sunday press conference. You would think the Yankees are not going to give up a run this year. That's how good everybody looks. Everybody looks amazing. Their stuff looks incredible. They're throwing the ball really well. Every single player. No one needs to work on a single thing. Just let you know.
I mean, some guys are throwing pretty hard for the start of spring training.
Oh, agreed. No, the guys look really good. It's just, not everyone's great.
We expect that from him. He doesn't, even when a guy does bad during the season, he doesn't say that he's doing bad. He always points out the positive. This is just, we're 9 seasons into Aaron Boone.
Everyone's Nolan Ryan. Aaron Boone did talk about Austin Wells and kind of did actually highlight some of the struggles Austin Wells has had. He said that what he's looking for with Austin Wells, particularly in spring training, is him being able to dial into his at-bats. He said that Austin Wells has great bat-to-ball skills, which he thinks the skills are so good on that end that often Austin Wells tries to do too much with his at-bats, which actually I think is a good explanation of like why he could have struggled last year. He's so confident in his bat-to-ball skills that he's relying on it a little too much and going for the power, going for placement more.
Yeah. I still have that at bat from Game 4 against Toronto in my head where they had that momentum going and he ruined it.
Yeah. He could get better though.
And he is not the player who does that. So that annoyed me even more because Wells is one of those guys who 6 to 7 pitch at bats. He doesn't go up there free swinging all the time. He's not Anthony Volpe. He's not going down on 3 swings because he's trying to hit a home run. So I hope he does work on that. I also hope that he's great. My phone just fell. I hope that he's getting sleep with the new baby.
Yeah. Okay. So we have been able to discuss Austin Wells and his ability to improve. Hopefully his hitting will improve. His fielding was actually tremendous last year, and they're saying that his fielding is great so far too. They're just looking for his bat to improve and his bat to ball skills getting better too. On the Anthony Volpe note, Volpe has been in Tampa for a while at this point. His fielding is not there yet. He's not in the field yet. He's not getting there. His hitting is not there yet. So he's not in the field yet. He's not, his lateral fielding is not there yet. And his throwing obviously isn't there yet. His hitting is not there yet. He is in the weight room. That's the latest progression that he's made in his recovery. He's starting to lift weights and getting into that more. So still a little bit of a road for Volpe. I don't think he's terribly close yet. Rodón is closer than Cole. Rodón is already throwing bullpens, so it looks like Rodón could honestly be a few weeks after opening day, not very long at all. Gerrit Cole is moving along faster than expected. It's not going to be the summer that he's back. He's going to be back way earlier than that. So that's a good sign for Gerrit Cole. he will start seeing, they're saying that he'll start seeing live batters in a few weeks, and possibly by the end of spring training could be in games. So that means he's probably early May, which is what it looks like the timeline is for Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
Speaking on that note, they asked Max Fried about any added pressure being on him because of Cole and Rodón being out. And he said no, he puts a lot of pressure on himself already. Also, Max Fried has not added anything to his arsenal. He's just working on perfecting his pitches, which he said will be perfected by the end of spring training, which is an answer that I would have liked the manager to give.
Right. All right. We actually have some things to talk about regarding Max Fried in segment 2. Not directly, but
yeah, and we'll bring up at the start of segment 2 to the new addition that Gerrit Cole made, if you guys have seen his bullpens already, because it's kind of impressive. We'll talk about that and more on the pitching side in segment 2.
Yeah. So coming up, Ryan Weathers had some things to say because he's the newest Yankee possibly in the rotation. I think he's going to be in the rotation, right? Like maybe 5th or whatever. But he had some interesting things to say about possibly being in a rotation with Gerrit Cole, Max Fried, and Carlos Rodón. So we're going to tell you what he said next.
Have you guys ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? Well, FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into a reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA futures bet, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right. The flights, the tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock that in. I love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or get a piece of their conference title. It adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch of the season. And now, not only can you pick your cash, but it also can send you to the finals. So here's what you do. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel. It's the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We want to thank you guys for making Locked On Yankees your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. Guys, baseball is back, and you can lock in by joining the Everydayer Club, which gets you ad-free episodes and access to our group chat on Discord. For the next week or so, you can use the code SPRING for a free month. Go over to lockedonyankees.supercast.com, click the QR code on your screen, or tap the link in our show notes to find out more. So, Stacey, we did mention this towards the end of segment 1, but Gerrit Cole debuted an over-the-head windup for his pitching motion. I would imagine that it has something to do with his rehab and feeling more comfortable. But when asked about it, Gerrit Cole verbatim said it feels nice, and that's why he does it. So, never done that in his career before, so we'll see if it winds up. But I kind of like him having the idea of Gerrit Cole. He's impossible to hit as it is.
Right.
The idea of him having a new delivery is kind of scary for hitters.
Yeah, I would be very scared if I were a hitter having to face him.
Yeah, exactly. And again, expecting him probably at this point early to mid-May, which is a lot better than I think what people anticipated last year.
Right.
The big story besides Carlos Legrange is newly acquired pitcher, again, probably their 5th starter, Ryan Weathers, who apparently has shown up to camp throwing, quote, gas. Throwing very hard, looks really good. Every pitcher does. But I think there's a lot of optimism around Ryan Weathers from where the starters come, right, Stacey?
Yeah. He was he had some attention on Sunday. I saw 3 different clips on Reddit of him talking to reporters. Because he is like the newest addition, because the big story about the Yankees is they're coming back with the same exact team. Not true. There is a difference. They're not completely running it back from 2025. So it's good to see him feeling comfortable. And, he had some really interesting things to say. And it goes along with something that we always talk about on this show. When you play for the Yankees, you're playing with really good players. You have guys from the past who show up to camp and can help you out. And he was talking about the advantage of being in that rotation with Cole, and especially with Rodón and with Max Fried, because they're all lefties. You also have Andy Pettitte at camp. You have Ron Guidry at camp. I mean, it is just a plethora of knowledge at Yankees camp that can help you out. And, I'm sure his father told him about playing for the Yankees and what it was like. So that also helps him, because, you do get worried when you hear, oh, someone's coming from the Marlins. How is he going to? he knows. He's heard from his father.
Sometimes guys with this talent level too, it's just about a change of scenery for them.
Yeah.
Like just not being in the same place, not being stagnant. And the level of talent on this pitching staff would almost push him on every single day to be better, because it puts pressure on him. If he's going in as probably the 5 on a best of the 4. He's never getting past those top 3.
Right.
If he wants to stay in this rotation throughout the entire year, there is pressure to be that good. There is pressure to be on their level, and that'll only raise his game. So I do like that. Plus, again, the ability to be able to talk to these guys on a regular is just invaluable. Pitchers that are that good, Stacey, and that elite at their craft, they almost double as
pitching coaches.
Extra pitching coaches and elite starters. And there's a lot that you could learn from each other in that sense. So Ryan Weathers has been a huge talking point so far in spring training.
Yeah. He said that Fried is helping him with his curveball.
Pretty cool, right? Max Fried, the pitcher who, again, I do love when the reporters asked Max Fried at the end of his availability, what have you been working on this offseason? And he said nothing. Like, I love the confidence in Max Fried to just know that, like, my stuff's good enough. No one's hitting me.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Like, I don't need to add a sinker or whatever. Like, you see guys come in every single year that are adding these extra pitches and trying to, and sometimes that's a cool element to your game. Max Fried straight up was like, no, I'm not adding anything. Don't need to add anything. I'm good. I'm just perfecting my pitches. I love that level of confidence in Max Fried. Again, being able to help the younger pitchers on your staff that are trying to improve. It's almost like you have an extra Matt Blake. That's also accompanying Gerrit Cole, Carlos Rodón, a lot of veteran pitchers that are still in their prime on this roster. So it's really helpful for a young pitcher like Weathers.
Yeah, that's the other thing that Weathers mentioned. He said, I've only been here 3 years. He's like, these guys have been here for, some of them been here for 10. That's a lot more knowledge than I have. That's 7 extra years that they have on me. And it's going to be really helpful. He also said he's working on trying to stay healthy because that's been an issue for him the last 3 years. And that's really important for him, obviously.
Yeah, and it's what Boone kind of said too, is he Boone instilling the confidence like he usually does, said about Weathers, I have all the confidence in the world that he's going to be a good pitcher for us. It's just about keeping him on the field. Yeah. And that seems to be the Yankees' priority. It's Ryan Weathers' priority. If he's able to do that and they're able to have that with him, I don't think they're too concerned with how Ryan Weathers is going to perform this year. They're just concerned that he's going to stay on the field. If they can get that down, kind of watch out, because if you add him and with his stuff and how good his stuff can play and his velocity, if you're able to have him with the combined pitching staff, again, the pressures, we talked about this before, you sometimes see guys at the bottom of a rotation be able to really perform because there's no pressure on them to really perform when you're behind a Gerrit Cole, Max Fried. If you have that kind of arm at a 4 or 5 spot in your rotation, you could see a lot of really, really, really good things out of him, especially without the pressure on him. So I think health is one of the main concerns going into this year. And, both Boone and Weathers have admitted that, which I think is key too.
Right. Speaking of health, I saw video of Clark Schmidt throwing a bit because he's also coming back. If guys who are hurt come back healthy, the Yankees actually have a surplus of pitching, which isn't a bad thing. But when you think about it, you have Heel is there. You have Schlittler there, who was also working out with Andy Pettit, by the way. I saw a video of that, which was pretty cool. Although I don't know what Cam was thinking because he was wearing his Yankee pinstripe pants up to his knees, but was wearing leggings underneath them. So then there was like, no,
socks.
Not socks, and then shoes. Because I looked and I was like, what? Cam?
a lot of these guys do wear the leggings underneath the socks.
But there's no socks. But he was not wearing socks.
Yeah,
so that looked goofy.
Yeah.
I know. The first thing I noticed.
I know if you guys ever notice, if you guys watch football, a lot of the football players, they wear they wear leggings pretty much that are just the team colors over their legs. That's what most football players wear.
Yeah.
I know baseball players, it's an athletic thing. Like a lot of them wear the leggings underneath the socks. Basketball players do it too. So
yeah, they're also they also work as compression pants too.
That's pretty much the purpose. Yeah. So I do wonder why he didn't decide to put socks on.
It was really weird. They look like capri leggings that I would wear that show off my bottom of my calf and my ankles underneath his pinstripe pants. Strange. I just thought that was funny. Other things from spring training because we still have time. You know how the Yankees social media team will greet the Yankees literally every morning and ask them something. Yeah. So the question of the day on Monday was your coffee order.
Yep.
And a bunch of guys answered. Max Fried was the first one. He answered cortado. JC Escara answered cortado. I think like 7 or 8 guys answered that. So I jokingly put in the Instagram comments the New York cortados because most of them drank.
I'll tell you what. It worked on me because I had never had a cortado before. So leaving my house earlier today, I went to Starbucks and got a cortado. Didn't enjoy it. But it's basically just espresso and milk foamed together to kind of take down the acidity of the espresso. Mm-hmm. I did all this research on it because I was fascinated because that's how much of a sports nerd that I am. I'll go get their coffee order. Didn't love it. Should have went with a regular iced coffee like I normally do. But hey, I tried out what the Yankees normally drink. Aaron Judge, a big cortado guy, apparently.
Yeah, and some guys were Americanos. I can't remember who it was that said it was black coffee. And Ben Rice made sure that everyone knew that he made his coffee at his house.
Yes, and one of the guys was a strawberry lemonade. So one of the guys was a strawberry lemonade, which I thought was very
Cam Schlittler.
Yeah, very interesting.
It was like a strawberry lemonade refresher. Yeah. Which that feels like an afternoon drink. That doesn't feel like a morning drink, right? Am I
Definitely
right?
Not.
Let
Definitely
me know.
Not a morning showing up for a workout.
Right in the comments, let me know or like what you think because I that feels like an afternoon in the sun kind of drink, not a morning let's wake up drink.
Or that's what a 6-year-old orders in the morning.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, I drink stuff like that, but to keep hydrated, I don't do it to wake myself up.
Yeah, that's what's crazy though. Look back on last year's postseason. Cam Schlittler's their 4.
Yeah.
Like when they're healthy by mid-May, early June, Cam Schlittler's their 4. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have like 5 other guys fighting for 4 and 5. You have Will Warren. Did I mention Will Warren before? I forgot about Will Warren.
And that's the pressure on Ryan Weathers. Like if he comes in and performs really well and perfects that curveball and keeps the velocity up, he could very well steal that 5 spot from Will Warren or Clark Schmidt or whoever tries to take it. Or
Luis Heel.
So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition for that 5 spot. There really is.
Yeah. All right, coming up next, Nick Castellanos has a home. We're going to tell you about it next.
Guys, tax season does not have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever just to hand things off and move on with your day. Now, with TurboTax Full Service, you can have your taxes done for you by a local, trusted expert from start to finish without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with a local TurboTax expert in person or connect with them online. They handle everything from W-2s to self-employed forms and work to get you every single deduction. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver, and it gives real peace of mind knowing that an expert is handling your taxes. Now, for a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150. That's all in if a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year. Just make sure that you file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. Stacey, we have a home for Nick Castellanos. Finally, it did not take long while he was available, by the way. The Phillies released him, and within a couple hours, he had somewhere to go, which is kind of cool. Yeah. 2 other guys that I found crazy before we tell you where Nick Castellanos is going, if you haven't seen yet. Remember Gerrit Cole?
Oh,
who was the big trade piece in the Edwin Diaz trade, and Mets fans were livid when they gave up Gerrit Cole, and then he got traded to the Braves, and that was a huge deal. Gerrit Cole signed a minor league deal with the Chicago White Sox earlier today.
I forgot about him.
I mean, talk about a fall.
Wow.
I mean, he was one of the top prospects in all of baseball, and he's unheard of now. So great trade by the Mets, even though Edwin Diaz is now a Dodger. Yeah. Also, remember this top prospect, Kevin Biggio, who everyone thought, another one of those players who is
Biggio,
a former
Bichette, Vlad Jr. They were going to be the terrible threesome.
of the past major league athletes. Well, Kevin Biggio signed a minor league deal with the Astros. So he is also no longer at major league status as a player. Kind of crazy how some guys just fall off that quickly, right?
Yeah. When I say terrible, I mean like good terrible, like, wreaking havoc on people. Because really people thought that core for the Blue Jays were going to be really something. And now one is a Met and one is an Astro, but in the minors.
2 of them signed nine-figure deals. So it did work out for 2 out of the 3. I think most teams would sign for that if 2 out of their 3. I'd kill for Anthony Volpe to one day sign a 9-figure deal. So
Yeah, because that means
it's worked out.
He's worth it. Yeah.
So it worked out for 2 out of the 3 prospects. That's good enough for the Blue Jays, even though one of them left, or 2 of them, I guess, are gone now. Nick Castellanos. I don't know this for fact, and I don't know if this is for sure. I have no sources on this whatsoever, but some stuff went down in Philly.
Yeah,
clearly he got into a fight with someone. Someone don't like someone because that divorce was speedy and quick.
Yeah.
They were apparently trying to move on from him at some point in the last month. They had no biters when it came to the trade market, but things escalated real quickly. He posted something on his Instagram last week saying that there was an issue last year with the game in Miami where
he got taken out of the game and then he went back in the dugout with a beer, which
is a no.
And Rob Thompson actually praised him for admitting that and saying he was sorry about that.
Yeah, which is obviously a no-no. I don't know why Nick Castellanos did that, but regardless, was a big deal when the Phillies gave him that contract.
Was the game in Miami, you said?
Yeah, it was a game in Miami.
What's with Miami? That's where Bobby Valentine did the disguise thing when he was with the Mets.
Yeah, everything. I'll tell you this: Miami in the summertime, great beer city, like a wonderful place to have.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah,
not while you're playing a baseball game.
No,
but another one of those guys signed $100 million plus contract with the Phillies and really was a productive player the last couple of years. But probably an example of a team moving on from a guy at the right time.
Yeah,
batting average has been slipping after year with him, and just plain and simple, he cannot field. Like he is a terrible right fielder. And with Kyle Schwarber pretty much being a full-time DH for them and just giving him that giant deal, there was no room for Nick Castellanos on this roster going forward. So kind of made sense, just an ugly divorce that happened very quickly.
Did we say where he was going yet?
No.
Okay.
So if you're leaving Philadelphia and you enjoyed the vibe in Miami, but you didn't want to stay in division, going to San Diego is not a bad outcome. So he winds up in San Diego. Lots of good beer there too. Great weather. So I'm sure he'll have a great time in San Diego.
One quick thing about San Diego. Manny Machado spoke to the media on Sunday. They asked him about the Dodgers spending.
Love this answer.
It was like a 20-second clip, and he must have cursed 3 or 4 times. Not in a bad way.
No.
He was actually enthusiastic and basically calling out the other owners, saying they could do the same thing the Dodgers are doing, and they're not. I think it's great for baseball.
Yeah, they asked him about the Dodgers signing everybody, and Machado was very upfront. Like, I love it. I think it's awesome for the sport. It's awesome for baseball. I hope that other teams keep doing it. I love that response out of Manny Machado.
I just thought it was funny, though, because you could see the radio microphone, and I'm like, why are you cursing? Don't curse.
Yeah, and he cursed a lot. I will say this, though, not a great sign for the future of the lockout, which we'll talk about all year, but whenever you ask the owners about or the GMs about the Dodgers, they all think it's terrible for baseball.
Right.
And anytime you ask a player about it, the players think it's great for baseball. So
they're so far apart.
There's a huge split between the two.
So let's mention these 2 things before we get into the Bryce Harper of it all, because there's some interesting things that he said. So Steve Cohen said, there will never be a team captain as long as he owns the Mets.
Yeah, you don't play for the team, bro. Like, that was a very weird response. I thought it was like,
is that like a dig at the Yankees and Aaron Judge being a captain? I don't understand.
know. Now I'll say this: like, captains in baseball are not as important as they are in other sports.
It's symbolic, basically.
Yeah, like in hockey, it's a big deal. You need to have a captain in hockey. It's a big deal.
You have the alternate captain, like all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the Knicks haven't had a lot of captains in their past. Like they just named Jalen Brunson their captain. It's worth it. But like in football, it's just the quarterback that gets in the captain on pretty much every team. It's not that big of a deal.
But why would he come out and say that?
It's very odd. Like, why offer that information?
Right. He's offering it. That's it. Thank you.
as long as I'm the owner, like, dude, you don't play for the team. Like, you're not in the clubhouse. Like, you're not the team. Is he trying to say that he's the captain?
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. I know. We know you got the money, dude. But like, and also like to his point though, Francisco Lindor is the captain of the Mets.
Yeah.
Like there's no C on his chest.
Oh, and that's another thing. That's another thing. They came out and said that everything's good between Lindor and Soto. There's not going to be any issues. Like they actually were basically admitting that there were issues, and now they're not going to be any issues in 2026.
Yeah, sure,
so.
I'll believe it when I see it. Wait till Juan Soto posts another picture of Aaron Judge.
So let's do these together. Okay, so Mike Trout wants to play center field this season, and he was turned down because he couldn't get insurance to play in the WBC.
Yeah, and I don't blame the insurance company here. And usually I will blame the insurance company. Mike Trout cannot stay healthy ever. He's made
he played 130 games last year, which was like a miracle for him.
Do yourself a favor, by the way. Go to the Angels Instagram page and look at the projected starters that they put up on their roster. Look at the lineup Mike Trout's in the middle of. I mean, yikes. Yikes, is it bad?
And then this goes hand in hand because when they were coming up together, it was always Trout and Bryce Harper, because they were. So Bryce Harper addressed Dave Dombrowski's comments from last year. And in case you don't know what Dombrowski said or don't remember, he basically came out and said that he wondered if Harper could return to elite status after a down year. Another thing offered for no reason. You don't need to say stuff like that. So Harper was talking to the media yesterday. He said how honored he is to be hitting ahead of Aaron Judge in the WBC. Can't wait to be in the same lineup with him. But he also talked about this. He said he didn't need that quote for motivation, that he creates his own motivation. But he also said it was kind of wild, the whole situation. I think the big thing for me, when we first met with this organization, it was like, hey, we're always going to keep things in-house and we expect you to do the same thing. When that didn't happen, it kind of took me for a run a little bit. I don't know. It's part of it, I guess. It's kind of a wild situation, that even happening.
Yeah, last year was his worst year with the Phillies. His OPS was 844. His on base was 357. His batting average was 261. Awful. He only struck out 120 times. He also had 27 home runs and 75 RBIs in a year where he only played 132 games because he missed the first portion of the year.
That's
so
awful.
He missed 30 games and went 27 and 75.
See, I could see why Dombrowski would say something like that. What is he doing?
I mean, he's 32 years old. He's had. Has there been a bad year with the Phillies? I mean, every year he's been elite with them. He's a tremendous player. He also transitioned from the outfield to first base pretty much seeming like without an issue at all. Yeah. Became a Gold Glove level fielder at first base. I don't know. He had a 3.1 WAR last year. Maybe he's trying to put some pressure on Bryce Harper to get him to up his game a little bit. That could be a possibility. But I mean,
I don't think Bryce Harper, like Bryce Harper said, I don't think he needs that.
He needs motivation. Yeah. By the way, which is crazy, he's officially been in Philly the same amount of years as he was in Washington, which is crazy to think about. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, if there's a player on the Phillies to give flack for their performance, I don't think Bryce Harper is the guy you want to go after. Also,
three other guys you could have done.
Bryce Harper, maybe remember when it was a huge deal what the contract was going to be for Bryce Harper? Maybe one of the best values in baseball, $27 million a year for Bryce Harper. Kyle Tucker makes 60. He makes more than half of Bryce Harper's contract.
Yeah.
And, by the way, to the point that you were making too, on Bryce Harper, and he's loving that he's going to be hitting behind Aaron Judge, kind of did sneakily reveal what the lineup is.
Is he behind or in front? Did I screw that up?
In front. You're right. In front. But kind of did, I'm not sure if Mark DeRosa is happy about that, because kind of did reveal the U.S.'s batting order.
Oh.
Clearly it's been told to the players, right, where you're going to hit. And Bryce Harper kind of offered the information up that, I'm excited to be hitting in the 3-hole in front of Aaron Judge. I don't think anyone was asking for that information, but good job out of Bryce Harper. I'm sure DeRosa's not happy about that.
Yeah.
I will say though, he went over the top complimenting Aaron Judge. And while hearing that as a Yankee fan, made me happy that Aaron Judge gets the kind of compliment around the league, it also continued to bother me because this could have been the reality for a decade.
Right. They could have always been back-to-back in the lineup for the last 7 years. But nope. Because Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner were like, no, we don't need Bryce Harper. We don't need Manny Machado.
They're paying more for Cody Bellinger, significantly more. Think about that. You knew the salaries were going up, and you chose not to pay Bryce Harper $27 million a year. Yep, I can't make it up either. Right. And the thing is, if they gave him the same exact deal that they gave the Phillies gave him, he would have took the Yankee offer.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to be a Yankee. It's so frustrating. He wore 34 because 3 + 4 is 7.
Right.
His favorite player.
Yeah.
It's so aggravating. Whatever.
All right. Well, let's not end it on a bad note.
No,
that's not really a bad note. It's a frustrating
Bryce Harper's projections for next year: 24 homers, 71 RBIs, and 847 OPS. I think he'll be just fine in Philadelphia's lineup.
He's fine. Yep. All right, well, thank you for tuning into today's live edition of Locked On Yankees. Make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Yankees so you get all the latest episodes and updates. You can follow us on Instagram at Locked On Yankees, all one word, on TikTok at LockedOn_Yankees. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Ad-free Locked On Yankees episodes, members-only Discord access, and more. Join now at LockedOnYankees.supercast.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, head over to the first ever 24/7 Locked On Podcast Network channel. If you're listening on audio, make sure you make Locked On MLB your second listen. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.